Hello, and happy Friday, everybody. So we're back in Luxembourg again. So yesterday, we managed to get ourselves to mid 2035. So I think we got everything planted. Yes. So the asparagus is growing. We got everything planted. We bought our new attempt at an asparagus field to see if we can get a crop in excess of 90%. So we're going to see where we end up with that. So as you can see, it's already started to deteriorate. So we're at like 4.6 tons, just under. So there we go. So that's what we're doing. We've got aspirations for this field. We are getting rid of our chickens at the end of this year. They are not going through into 2036, simply because the amount of effort involved and the return on investment, we'd have to have a lot more chickens. So we're going to reallocate those resources. So this year we've got onions on our outer fields. We've got apples on our big field. We've got zucchini on our group of 4 fields. So let's get back going again. See what we're doing. So have we got MPAK already going on this? So yeah, so hopefully everyone's having had a good week and having a good rest of getting ready for the weekend. Busy yesterday was saying that they're off to their daughters for the weekend, which is good. So we've got special plans with family. That's fantabulomostic. All the fantabulousnesses. So we've got to kind of get back up to date on all our fields, get the weeds sprayed, get potassium spread. Oh my goodness! Got to get that one done. Really getting bad on those fields. I don't know how I let them get that far. Can't forget our asparagus field either. Let's get some there as well. So, I think because this one down here was down to red, we might actually need some more potassium on there as well. Let's do that one a second time around. So we are really just trying to keep our way through. So we've got the Sublime Non-Forest. So for anyone that wasn't here yesterday, I was in a little snarky mood. So we had this was called Grazing Field, so we said non-grazing field. And this one was a forest which we've cut down and made it into a field, so I said it's a non-forest. Just for comedy value. Because we like fun. So let's go in a bit more. We can see a little bit more on the field labels when we get in. A bit further. So that should be good. So we've got the mismatches there. We're losing health. We're down to 92% already. And we're only 13 days in. So I'm thinking asparagus is really not in our future. Good morning, fam! How are you today? I hope you're very well. I hope you're ready for the weekend. As the song says, I can't wait for the weekend to begin. But you're going to have to, because you've still got today to get through. So my apologies. My most sincere apologies that you have to go through today before you can get to the weekend. Unless, of course, you've got today off, in which case, well done. Well planned. I applaud you. So, You're good. You got today off, so you're happy. Excellent. Well done, fam. That's the way to do it. Fridays as a day off to make a longer weekend is particularly kind of this time of the year when you get in between the summer and Christmas breaks. It's a good thing. It's definitely something that I used to do and play at. So okay, let's go. Asparagus. Asparagus. Yes. So, also had yesterday off. Ooh, nice. So how am I? I'm doing well, thank you, Vam. It's another lovely day. Actually sunny outside, but it's just rather cold today. We've gone down to it was 3 degrees outside this morning when I walked the dog, and we've managed to make it up entirely to 6 degrees. So so I'm glad to be sat at my computer in the warm and not have to be outside. So there we are. So I'm just going to have a little look to see if any of these fields have maybe changed. I don't think they have specifically. Just wondering if there's an element of randomization in once until you buy the fields. I don't think so. Like I say, I really think asparagus is just an evil crop for us in this location. It's evil. It doesn't like us at all. And of course, because you then get the mismatches. So you've got the silt, clay, and the sand all mismatching because it's got some very weird requirements. Sunshine here, but hella cold. Yes, even turn the heaters on today. Yeah, I've had my heating on for a while. I turned my heating on before Das arrived because of reasons. You don't invite out-of-town guests who are used to higher temperatures and then make them suffer through the absolute cold. That would just be rude. So be going through some irrigation. Multiple fields that need irrigatorizing.
All hands brace for impact.
So there we go, and we've got to be on our best behaviour. I called my mother last night, and she made known the fact that she's lurking every once in a while. She's lurking in the streams, listening to what's going on, what's being said. So yeah, so everyone on their best behaviour. Bad Mum is watching at times, not all the time. So, oh dear. But that's that. I find that amusing. I find that amusing. The specific point was where I'd said kind of about somebody getting their treat early because I had my coffee before I start the stream. So that was the point that was seized upon. So there we go. Do. So how are we doing? Looks like the onions are getting ready for harvest time. So I'll leave the weeds on that one for now. We've got plenty of storage, so we can probably run ryegrass on most of the fields just to kind of big up our crop, because we're going to probably look to expand our sheep operation. I think the target there is we want to try and get the sheep operation to 500,000 turnover per year, which would be good. It's nothing that's not to be sniffed at, you know, not to be sniffed at. Doodly-doo. So to do our zucchini fields. That one's doing all right. That one's being done now. That one gets done tomorrow. This one will be the day after. So there we go. Excellent. So just monitoring and titivating. Oh, we need some monitoring and titivating down here. The asparagus. We are already. I think the crop's going to be less than 60% when we get there. Is that not what I calculated? I think I did a calculation at the end of last stream. I can't remember what it was. It was a very quick spreadsheet thing. Just a bit of Excel, you know, like you do. Oh, there we go. Irrigation happening. Excellent. So I'll keep the asparagus field in relatively good health. It's about 25 days to harvest, 24 days to harvest. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yes, the onions will be coming in shortly. Or at least those onions will. Let's put some nitrogen on our zucchini. It's exactly what you need. When you're cooking zucchini, you need to make sure you put enough nitrogen on. It's the law. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't really do it. Don't really do it. So. Da, 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 da. So yeah, so it's been a pretty good week. I still haven't decided about weekend streams. But we're going to take it by ear. I mean, the daytime streams have been enjoyable. But what I'm probably going to do is, rather than doing... If I do all 4 daytime streams, they're not all going to be Global Farmer next week. I have an idea for a different game to play, which I picked up on an offer. So I was happy with that. Let's put some ryegrass on there. So we've got some onions to sell. 35 grand. Thank you very much. Should be our next ones to harvest. Yeah, so I've got a game, like I said, picked up nice and low price. I mean, it was like 70% off, so it was in like 2 or 3 quid or something like that. So yeah. So I was that's the price point that I'm working with right now. Yeah, if your game is sub £5, then you stand a chance of me buying it. Not because the games are not worth it, but just simply because my finances are not in that position. Normally it'd be anything below 20, but there we go. That's my normal happy state. But there we go. So here we are. It's August 2035. We've already had 1 field harvest. Be planning next things. The asparagus, I think we'll leave the asparagus to go there. I might not be too far. 70. We might still get it above 60%. Let's see what yield we can manage to get out of that. Because we're already down an entire ton, so we were at 4.5 tons. We're now down below 3.5 tons, and I can't see the sense in planting a crop that you know you're going to lose more than half of it, or even half of it. It's just silly. you just go with something that's far more worthwhile, unless that crop is super expensive and it's worth the pain. It's just a no from me. So I think that one, what size? That's 3.92 hectares. So that one might get twinned in with this field going forward, and that field goes to zucchini next, because the sequence that we're following for crop rotation is apples, zucchini, onions. So that's what we're doing. We've got 3 different groups of fields. So we're aiming for this field, which is 1.6 million. Some of these fields may get turned into pastures as well, simply because as we increase the number of sheep, we're going to need more pasture land for them. But yeah. And indeed, that might be what happens to this one, because this one's a bit further out, a bit more of a pain to manage, or simply just to remember that it's there. It's not really that much more of a pain to manage. It's just, where'd that field go that I was looking at? So I'm going to leave that because it's not causing any pain, and we'll use the ryegrass hopefully to recoup that. So, trying to be a little bit more economical with. I'm really liberal with the kind of, yeah, just throw some more fertilizer on there. Throw some more weed killer on there. Like here we're 84 of 120 days, so we are going to take some actions on this one. If it were within 10 days of harvest, wouldn't necessarily bother. This one's a little bit further away. So, oh, that's the 5 hectare. Too bad. What is it? 36. That's still not a great fit for asparagus, although it puts it in fairly good place. We shall see. Bum 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 ba-dum. So lots and lots of things going on. So we've got the onions in. Got the other field of onions. Yeah. That's 40 grand, so 35 and 40 grand, so 75,000 euros worth of onions that we've made. Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. So we're going to whack some ryegrass on there quickly. And then next up we should be getting into zucchini harvest. Yeah, the asparagus is still a little bit away. Give that a spray for weeds. Da-dee-da-dee-da. It's just a shame because we've got all 3 of our crops that actually work for us and make a profit are needing a bunch of manual. So apples are manual plant, manual harvest. Obviously, the seedbed preparation gets done. Zucchini we can plant with the tractor. We can seed with the tractor, but we have to manually harvest. And the onions are the only ones that we can do it all automated. So, and even the asparagus is a manual harvest. So there we go. We're at 65%. So we're losing. Yeah, by the time we're done, we're going to have lost over 2.5 tons. So I'm just, yeah. Which adds to my frustration because, of course, asparagus is just so prevalent in the contracts. And it's just going, nope. Contracts are not not at all. The contracts don't seem to be balanced to the region that you're in. So hopefully that will be something that happens in the future. Okay, the crops that are good in this particular area are these crops, so you can actually stand to be successful. Be with an occasional one in there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Said doesn't stop us from adapting and enjoying what we've got right now. Okay, what was that message? I totally didn't read it. So it's still... Oh, we need some... Actually, no, it's a few days away from harvest, so I'm not even going to, because it's not causing a negative impact. Neither are the weeds. So... this one's about the same. Although this one's a bit further away. So that one we will whack a little bit of nitrogen on. Nitrogen on your zucchini. Don't make it wear a bikini. You definitely shouldn't put a bikini on zucchini. It's not good. Zucchinis and bikinis are not what you should be looking at. Da, 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 da. Okay, so yeah, somewhat happy with where we are. Wow, that's a field and a half, isn't it? This gets linked. And I think unless there's areas that are actual farmland and in the OpenStreetMap as actual farmland, it's not always clear cut where the fields are. I suppose what I really could do is I could open this area up in the editor and see if I could do something different with it. But I don't think you can. I don't think you can edit the detected fields. So just a shame. Not yet, anyway. I have made a suggestion that be implemented, but obviously with the launch, there's been a lot of bug reports. So I would imagine the dev team are focused on stabilization, not adding new stuff. I did read the patch notes for the latest patch that they put out a couple of days ago, and this issue with the tutorial where it doesn't save the state of it properly in the save game, they've kind of listed that as one of the things that's fixed. So that was one of the things I've reported just ever so slightly before it launched. I had a little bit of early access to it. So they're listening. So obviously some things take longer to fix than others because some things are more complex. But they're obviously reading the reports, listening to the feedback, and I think that's a positive. Let's put ryegrass on there. So we've got zucchini field 1 has delivered its crop, and it's worth 21,500. Oh, we've got the asparagus. We ended up with just under 3 tons of asparagus. We're going to put ryegrass on there as well. Okay, it doesn't like ryegrass manually there. Okay, we'll figure that out. I'm not going to worry about it for now. What did we do? Wanted to do asparagus. We'll sell that. So that's 43,000. So that's still not terrible, but it's just really inefficient. So now we'll have a look. If we're looking for next year, let's for example, next year, what are we going to do? We're on apples, so it'll be zucchini. Let's go to next year. Zucchini, aside from the lack of sunshine. Yeah, this I need to report this actually. Let's do a quick bug report. So planting slider slips to end of year. I'm planning beyond current year. Okay, so using mouse to slide the planting window in a year beyond current time. The planting window slips and mouse is at least to the end of the year. Only annual. Manually adjusting the by 50 arrows to move on at a time. Function. Again, this is a cosmetic thing. It's not the end of the world. I just don't plan more than a year in advance. Consistently on all fields with all plant types. Planning for year consistently works normally, as expected. Hopefully that's useful. Let's we'll send that off to them. Don't mind a little bit of bug reporting. It's, as I said, it's early access, so you can either like it or not. If you don't like it, don't get it until the bugs are fixed. So have no chops of it. We paused because I did the bug report. That would be logical. I like that. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I like it. So it's more successful than the bug reports in the Big Bang Theory between Penny and Leonard in their dating 2.0. They took that stuff really seriously. But there we go. So we've got another 6 days left there. I think we're good. So we're getting towards the end of the growing season. Got, I guess, less than a month left. If we look at our field overview, yeah. Before the end of beginning of October, a week or so into October, and we'll finish our apples. So yeah. Bom bom bom. Ryegrass on there. Not going to worry about the field just yet. Don't know why it doesn't like the ryegrass there. Keeps saying seeding needs to be done manually. Why can we not do it mechanically? Why does it not detect that? Why does it not detect it there? Oh, we can't harvest it mechanically. So let's do that. That's better. So we've got more zucchini in, which is our second field, which has given us 15,500, which is this field here. Now we can harvest our slightly larger fields. Okay. Which is that? That's 378. So that feels like it's going to be in our reach soon enough. Yeah, 400,000. When we get to about 2 million balance, we'll probably be investigating 400,000 a year. So, but we're going to see what happens. We are, like I said, coming to the end of our chickens. The chickens, along with their eggs, will be sold at the end of 2035. Because they have wronged me. No, chickens just aren't worth it. From what I'm doing here. So you probably need to, if we've got the fields like the size of the sheep and we've got like multiple chicken coops and we got, say, maybe a couple of hundred chickens, I can see it being worthwhile. But not for what we've got. Oh, and I said yesterday about the concept of the kind of the mental load of managing these fields when you get to having a lot of them, and obviously having them more spread out. So I did put my suggestion in about having like a field boss employee. So I think I'd suggested, like, yeah, you have a different type of employee, a different grade of employee that would be a field boss or a field manager. You'd have like an office building that you'd have to maintain and would charge a monthly maintenance admin cost and would house X number of those types of employees. Again, this is all my suggestion. Whether or not the devs like it or not is entirely up to them. Whether or not other people that play the game like that, also up to them too. And then you'd be able to go in here and click it on and say, okay, manage the fertilization and only let it get down to that amount. Manage the weeds, only let them get up to that amount. Manage the irrigation. So, yeah. So I did put my suggestion. We talked about it in the stream. I spent about 10 minutes after the stream writing that out. Because it seemed like a sensible thing to do. So. And why not, indeed? So there we go. Okay. So we've got ryegrass on there. I think we've got ryegrass everywhere now. We do indeed. Except for the apples, which are still growing. Oh no, they're still harvesting. Okay. Perfect. Everything doing the doings of doing this. Which is, yeah, about right, I reckon. Then we'll be moving to the end of the... So what, another zucchini crop, which is our last field. 58,000. So you see, we haven't even sold our wool, and we're almost up to 1 million again. Yeah. We make the money, honey. And our loan's gone away now, hasn't it? Yep, our loan was finished. So where does our loan go to? Yeah, our loan finished a few years ago. Wow. Been pushing ahead. So yeah, so we're on track again. It was a slight dip last year because we didn't get as much as we had in the previous years from the sheep's wool. That's okay. That's why kind of why we don't just rely on the sheep. We kind of do the crops as well and balance ourselves out between the two sides of the farm. A little bit of strategery. Yes, that is a made-up word. So, I'm going to just get through the harvest of the apples. We go fast forward again. It's already too cold for chickens, and that means they'll be eating food. That's good. Now harvesting ryegrass. Does that feel good? Okay, the dog's barking again. 1 second. I shall return. What are you up to? There we go. Sorry about that. I know probably it doesn't trigger the microphone, but it does drive me bananas. So I pull him out, and he can now just lie in his bed and be quiet, like most of us wish we could do. So there we go. Okay, where were we? We were waiting for the apples to finish harvesting, and it looks like they did. So we got nice 73,000 squidoodles worth of apples. Thank you very much. We're now over the million. Thank you very, very much. So, let's see. Do we need to put NPK on there? No, I think the values there are actually good. So we'll leave that one alone. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so we've got some weeds on there, but that'll be managed when we go into next year and we do our ploughing or cultivating, so we're not going to fuss over that. Sheep are still out. Chickens are in and eating food, which is fine because whatever's left over we're going to sell.
All hands brace for impact.
And that's fine. So now we are literally... I think we can just skip our way through. For now, we're going to have the various different harvests going on for the ryegrass. All the way through till December. Yeah, and again, we don't really worry about the crops of ryegrass because it's not a primary crop, it's a feed crop, and B, we plant it on every field to kind of, or almost every field to recover anyway. So we generally have plenty. So it's not something that causes concern. We're now getting into December, 1st of December. Do the standard usual that I do, which is go to the 30th of December and sell everything. Well, not sell everything, but sell the animal goods. Like I said, this year we're winding up our chicken operation. It's going to go away, and there will be no chickens. 2036. Well, not on our farm. If other people have chickens, that's fine. Happy Christmas, everybody. 2035. Okay, here we go. So eggs. Yeah, we're 8,000 a year is not worth it when you consider 210,000 from the sheep. We'll focus on the sheep, and the chickens are now going to go away. So just a reminder from yesterday's stream, if you have the chicken. If you have your animals out grazing a pasture, you can't sell them until they come back in. So you'd have to disable them off the pasture if you're in a summer month where they're out. So there we go. We're going to sell our chickens. And we're also going to go into the farm and we're going to sell our chicken coop. Don't need it. And we are also going to go marketplace and sell the wheat that we no longer require. So that's good. I think that might well give us enough to get started with some more sheep. Okay. We want to get another 3 of these, but we can probably get 1 now. Let's have 1 sheep barn. Like so. Out here, and we'll be able to get another 6 sheep. Confirm that. So I think hopefully our existing pastures will support them. What about cows, Joshua? The cows are still quite expensive, so bear with me 1 second. There's another thing I need to take care of. Okay, so Joshua Parker, yes. Not because we're only at the 1 million stage. I want to kind of maximize the sheep first. So yeah, cows wise. The cow barn is 180,000. So we could have a look at cows now that we've got rid of the what's the word? Now we've got rid of the chickens. We could have a little look at cows. Vam says go away, but I saw it, Vam. I've dealt with it, but thank you. I don't know. They seem to still manage to get through somehow, but there we go. So yeah, so I don't know how many it will handle. So let's have a look at cows. We'll give cows a few years worth of trial. See if they're more profitable than the chickens. So what have we got? Cow barn. My only worry is about I don't have pastures for cows right now, so we might have to reallocate some fields. What am I doing? So it doesn't tell us how many cows it's going to support. So what do we do? So that one. Let's put the cows here. Why is it clicked in there? That's annoying. Okay. Let's go cows. Cow bar. The open end here. About there for now. So I'm not sure about the cows yet, but we'll see. So now we've got that built. So that will. How many will that enable? That enables up to 10 cows. I'm not going to go for 10 straight away. We're going to go middle for diddle. So we're going to go for 5 cows. I'm assuming that they eat ryegrass as well. They don't, they eat corn. Oh, no. No. That's no, sorry, just no. We don't, corn is not a good crop for us here. So for the same reason that the... Can we get some corn? We don't have any right now. Let's see if we can plant some. Which means we probably need a corn planter. No, we can probably do it manually now. We'll see what we can. Okay. We are going to try the cows, Josh, but it's not looking. Even now, it's not looking good. So Happy New Year 2036, everybody. I shouldn't have bought those things in the tail end of that year, but never mind. That's now tainted our numbers, but it's fine. It's fine. So what are we going to do? We're going to get out of here. And the other option is that the cows just don't do anything in the winter months. So let's now look out here. What can we do for a cow pasture? I was thinking possibly these two fields would be convert that to pasture for cows. That'll take 7. But both of those over. Then it's a shame because those are profitable fields, but we can always turn them back once we've figured out what's going on. Oh, so the cows require a temperature of 10 degrees, so they're going to be inside almost as much as the chickens were. These ones. Am I going to keep hold of these two fields? No, I think we'll sell these small ones. Is it not selling? Is it because I'm on pause? No, it's just not selling. Okay. Let's convert to field and sell it. Okay. So that's another thing that we're going to report as well. Sell field button not working and field converted. Lost. Sell pasture. Sell field on a pasture. No action. Field converted to a field. Sell. There we go. Send that one off. Chicken pasture for cows. Those are really small, Josh. So I don't think those would work very well. I mean, if we look at that cow-wise, it would accommodate one cow. So that was pretty much my instinct on that, which is why I'm kind of selling them to get rid of them, because I just don't want to manage them for the time being. So we've got rid of Clucking Lane and the Cluck Run. So yeah, so these fields both accommodate up to 7 cows, so they can alternate between those two fields, which gives them hopefully some good grazing land. Okay, so that's slightly changed our plans for the year. So we do need to try and figure out some corn as well. So let's see if our 2 big fields can accommodate some capacity. Corn, corn, corn. Corn, we've got a lack of sunshine issue throughout. We've also got the silt mismatch, soil mismatching going on, which is okay. So we've got the best is middle of May. So that's, it thinks 4 tons. Tons should get us through one winter, but let's see. I don't know what it wants. 60% silt. We've not seen anything like that. 30% sand, 10% clay. Let's see if it's any better on the former asparagus field. I'm not going to be convinced. Again, we can't buy this in. So this is one of the suggestions I have, again, put into the game is let us buy the food that we need for the animals rather than having to grow it. Because when you get into areas like this, it makes running the animals painful. More painful than it needs to be. So that's a 63% fit, and that reckons a 6-ton yield. But also, this field has just gone slightly over the edge of the manual workers, so you require 2 workers just to get it done. It doesn't like when it takes more than 2 weeks for things, apparently. So we're also going to do cultivatorization. Get rid of those weeds. That going to work? Is that the best we've got? 62%. So yeah, middle of May is about the best we're getting when we're getting 63% fit. It's a 61% fit. Okay, maybe we're not getting the 63 now. It's changed its mind. Oh. Little pause for the cause. Little spinning wheel action. This is not the first we've had that, but it's the first in a few streams actually. So sometimes there's just a lot of processing happening. So requires a bit of patience. Just waiting it out. There we go. We are back. Okay, 63%. Confirm. So I'm only going to do that one field with corn. So now we're going to do the other field with what we would have done. So after apples comes onions. Doesn't it? That's what's next. So cancel. Want to plant onions. Where are you? There you go. Onions. Go early May. Put the cultivator on. No potassium, so we can deal with potassium levels as well. Let's confirm that. We'll just whack some potassium on there. Just so that field is ready. Obviously those two are now gone. So our other 2 fields, these were previously onions, so they're now apples this year. Yeah. And we need to cultivate. The apples go... Is it March or do we go May? Okay, so go middle of May. Perfect. So 10th of May. That'll do. And then we're going to do our other apple field. So that was middle. We're going to go maybe 10 days later. That's 4 days later. Should we go earlier? No, it's not going to make a difference. Let's go early. Let's go at the end of April. Okay, that'll do. And let's put the cultivation on. Oop. No, we're not going to get it there. Go. Okay then. are unhappy. Yeah. Interesting. Middle of April, then see how we get on there. Okay, middle of April's fine. That works. Cultivation on, that's good. Okay, lock that one in. So what are we doing now? So we've done those fields, these two fields which had zucchini previously. So they are onions this year. That's got more than 22% weeds, so we need ploughing. Say, plant onions somewhere else? No, we didn't. Yes, I did plant some onions somewhere. Planted onions on the apple field. I'm forgetting which way the rotation goes around now. Is it apples, zucchini, onion, or is it zucchini, apples, onion? I can't. These were zucchini. We planted apples, so we're going to have to go. We want onion there, so this is going to have to be apples. No, not apples. No, that's zucchini. What have we done in here? Apples. Oh, we probably should have gone zucchini on that one. I know. It's terrible. It's terrible. Is that the best we can do? Let's go there. We got an 84% from there. Let's put some. We'll put some lettuce on this one just for a bit of variety, you know. We might get multiple crops out of it. We usually do when we get we do lettuce. There. Perfect. So I think we're now planned on the fields we need to be planned on. It's the two fields that we were previously farming, previously growing crops on, are now cow pastures. Got some corn growing on our former asparagus field. Okay, I think we are good to go. Are good to go. See how we get on. So, obviously cows are not producing right now because they don't have any food. None of your animals are fed. You have no pastures and no food. Well, we have pastures, we just don't have food. But let's just go and check. Definitely can't do anything to buy at the moment by the looks of it, which is a shame. So we can't get anything in to feed our cows. I was hoping that we could have been able to feed them the ryegrass, but clearly not. So that is a point against cows at the minute. So so let's just skip forward to the growing season. Fortunately, I don't think the cows will die as a result of not being fed over the winter. I think they just don't produce. So we don't actually lose cows per se. But we should start to see them. Yeah, we're starting to see them out. So our cows are out on the fields doing this. And that actually is helping to restore, so we're restoring nutrients by having the cows grazing on this. So I love that mechanic as well. I haven't talked about that previously, but I do like it a lot. I think it's the same for the sheep. Sheep, are the sheep out? No, that field's currently recovering. Where are the sheep? They're not. They should be out somewhere. Are they still in? Yes, they're still in. Guess there's not a pasture that's ready for them. But again, based on the NPK levels, it looks like they're all well sorted. So I'm guessing the same is true for sheep as for the cows. So we've got this one's cultivating now. So yeah. Oh, that's our lettuce. So let us eat lettuce. Again, with the corn, we're obviously going to have serious issues with sunshine, so the yield is not going to be fabulous. That's one of the reasons I have avoided corn. We kind of need it for cows. I do want to give them a fair shake. I want to give them at least the rest of, well, the rest of this year and 2037. So we'll have a full year. That's why I want to get the feed for them, so they're fed in the winter. So they're producing 175 litres of milk a day. And I don't know how much that actually would make us. So that's 1,400. So that's I think they're definitely going to be more profitable than the chickens were. But it'd be nice to know, even just 5 cows. But does mean the pain of corn harvesting, corn growing. So that might be a trade-off we make over time, and just start small with the cows, keep small with the corn. Because, yeah. Reasons of raisins. So, we have lettuce growing. Our growing season has begun. So next up, we've got apples going in. Onions and corn. All our different things. Oh, I haven't clicked on a field in here before. Well, let's do that. I'm going to go back to that. What field overview? And we can click on a field. And got your yield calculation. Oh, that's planting apples, so we don't choose seed. Ah, so you can do it in here. This is the detailed view that we don't very often use. So let's do that on the lettuce field. Are seeding apples. So let's go in here. This is a different way of doing it that I hadn't actually looked at before. So on the lettuce field, let's go into this. Click on this. We can choose seed. We will choose lettuce again. Next step. Optional ploughing. No. We'll go optional cultivating. Yes. Go seedbed machines, seeding machines. Doesn't do manual. Okay, that's fine. Harvesting is manual. 2 weeks for that. Why is it saying total duration 65 days. Next step. So this is now lettuce. And we want to yeah, we know the crops are overlapping, so we need to move it. Can we not move it? Okay. Working period. Okay. So we've got the overview, we can't move it. So that's not so useful. So we're gonna go into the normal screen and we're just gonna click on that and where are we? Field it. Where are we? There we go. Click on the field. Click on that. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's put it there. Wow. Cancel the apples. Okay, so that's cancelled those. Okay. That's weird. I might have to have a look at that another time. It doesn't show up in the field overviews now, but there we go. Wow. That's a bit interesting. So there we go. So we're now going through seeding onions
All
in 3
hands
days.
brace for impact.
Seeding apple in 13 days. Seeding 22 days. So let's get the let's keep an eye on the fields that we've got seeded now. That one's being seeded. Got lettuce growing. Keeping an eye. You can see the cows, they're going through the pasture quite quickly. Even just 5 of them is going through that rapidly enough. It's okay. So for those of you on Twitch, apologies, the adverts are inbound. Less than a minute away. Okay, so let's keep an eye on what's going. This one's going. Oh, this one's going to onions. Should be the cultivation to get rid of the weeds. And the seed bed. A little bit of planting onions, seeding onions. Do like this as you go through the prep stages. You can see you're 1 day away from the growing, so -1 of 90. So now we're on 0 of 90. Yay! Okay. No. Do it next. We've got lettuce, onions, apples, all started. We're not growing any zucchini this year. Oh, we didn't look at the contracts. Totally didn't look at the contracts. And zucchini is on there. We are going to do that, and I'm going to buy a field and we're going to plant zucchini. So I want that achievement, assuming that we can get it. But I want that achievement. I want this field. So I'm going to buy this field. This is the field for our zucchini. Zucchini is 100% match. Ah, okay. It won't let us plant it because it's not going to do it for manual. Seed bed, mechanical. So let's look at our field overview. And we have no workers because of the apples. So if we go, and then the corn. So how far can we go back with the zucchini? Or it starts to suffer. So we could go all the way to end of May. Okay. There we go. Don't have any workers when it comes to okay, so we have 0 workers available at that time. It's a pain. Let's see about there. Do we need to get more workers? Maybe. Two more workers. Go. Go. Okay, so now we can do our zucchini field. There we go. Okay. So we'll get our zucchini to get our contract. Please don't let me forget this time and just sell the zucchini and then go, dang it, we have a contract and I'm not going to get my contract achievement now. Which is what I did earlier in the week. So that's also now our largest field at 5.25 hectares. So there we go. So the cows so far have produced. So just in the last few months that they've actually been out of the stables, they've produced almost the same amount of value of goods that the chickens produced in an entire year. So cows are not looking too bad. Like I say, it is just the aggravation of producing corn for them. But if they turn a tidy profit, that might be an aggravation that we're willing to endure. So, but we've got to try these things. We've got to try these things. So, and now as I kind of click on some of these things, obviously some of the things that people have been obviously reporting to the game devs and stuff have come to light. And I've just played it one way. I haven't explored every single functionality, which perhaps isn't quite right of me, but there we go. I find what works and tinker away. So yes, so we're now spending more. We kind of come down now at €2/3 million, but that's okay. We will. Oh, we're not on normal speed. I'd slowed it. So what else have we got going on? Seeding in 12 days is waiting, so we're seeding apples in 3 days still. We have onions growing, as are the weeds. We need some NPK action there. We'll get some weed spraying there. That one's going to be okay because that hasn't been planted yet. Okay. I want to see what we start off with the corn, i.e. if we'd got decent enough conditions, what that kind of field would yield for us. So cultivating ready for apples to go in. Didn't even look at the other contracts. Carrots, no, that's too much. We need a much larger field. Or maybe possibly a... yeah. Yeah. Possibly multiple years to get the crop in. Actually, how long does the contract last? 250 days, so not a lot. There we go. You can see we have finished 9 contracts previously. And yeah, this should give us our 10th, which should, assuming the achievements on that space are working, should give us a nice achievement. This is down 87% because it's got a mismatch. But it's just a filler crop till we can get ourselves back on rotation. We've had some success with those fields, so we might see if we can get the cows moved somewhere else in the end. Get those fields back to crops. But at the moment, for our experimental time, our pastures. That's not a bad part of the rotation either, to kind of rotate cow fields. I suppose all 4 of those could have been cow pastures. We could rotate it to those 2 fields. We'll consider that. What's happening next? Corn is going in. Seen that going yet? Haven't seen a corn crop as yet, so we'll see what that looks like. See, I don't think we've got a corn planter, so this is going to be manual planting and manual harvesting. But again, if we get to the point that we're going to use a large field for this and the cows are making enough profit to be worthwhile, we'll invest in the appropriate equipment. I just didn't want to go hell for leather investing in everything up front. I wanted to give it a trial period first, which is why we've only gone half the capacity of the cow barn. So there you go, so we can see manual planting, seeding dance, seeding dance. So we're going to have some nice rows of corn. like I said, I'm waiting for it to finish because I want to see what the initial tonnage looks like, because then we'll know what the total potential for that area of field is. Like I said, it's only a 68% match, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a really heavy loss crop for us. Not much we can do. It needs more sunshine than we get, and we've got mismatches for the soil requirements too. So just keep an eye. But now we've increased our workers, so we'll be able to keep going on some more things. Then start to engage in some labour-saving devices as well. I haven't, just for clarity, I haven't pre-made my mind up on the cows. Waiting, I want to see genuinely how well they do. How much of the corn, how fast they're eating that when we get into the colder temperatures, how they respond to the pastures, and ultimately how much hassle they are versus how much money we get at the end of the year. Not this year, because we've only just started, but the end of 2037. How much money they make us. Just like any enterprise, if it's not worth putting the money into it, then they will not continue. But definitely needs to be explored and checked out. There we go, corn. Corn is growing. It doesn't like the sunshine. It doesn't like the lack of sunshine. So 10.2 tons. Down. So keep an eye on that. When you zoom out, it looks a little bit like an asparagus field again. Okay, so the zucchini is growing. Yeah. Apple are growing. Lettuce needs... Oh no, it's not complaining about the nutrients, so we'll leave that for a minute. They are 10 days away from harvest. Onions need some zhuzhing. Maybe. I keep going to want to look at those fields because so used to that as we skip through the fields to check what's going on. Okay. Down to 95% in the first week of our corn crop. Only time will tell. Cows have eaten up, in the space of a few months, they've eaten up all the grass on the one field. They've gone to the second one. They seem to be eating at a quicker rate than the sheep, potentially. But, that's okay. But something like this, that might support more cows. These only support up to 7. We want something larger than that. So yes, yeah, some fairly hefty fields to go after them. But again, if they're profitable and we can grow them over time, we'll be able to scale up that operation much as we're scaling up sheep. So sheep pastures are currently, that one's probably the smallest one of them all. So we want to have more 1 to 1.5 hectare fields, 1 to 2 hectare fields, but looks at it. So both 1.5. So yeah, let's look around, see if we can find some. Wow. 6, 2. It's a 3 hectare field. Half. Okay. 2. That wouldn't be too bad for sheep, potentially. Thank you very much for the follow, Bolt Griffin. Welcome to the absolute madness. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are, well, that's a good sign that you're in the right place. So yeah, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. You are excellent, excellent. Obviously, if you've got anything, feel free to speak up in chat, or if you just prefer lurking, it's all good. It's all good. So I try to make it a chill environment as much as possible. So yeah. So where are we? Let's check on our fields. Feeds are coming there. That one counts. That preview came up because we've harvested the lettuce. Excellent. So we've harvested the lettuce. Got 7,000. Let's plant some more lettuce. We'll give it a few days. And give it some NPK. I'm actually going to abort that and reschedule the lettuce so that we can put cultivating on to get rid of those weeds. Okay. Bam. Okay. That'll do. You were watching from YouTube. Ah, excellent. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I started to dual stream on YouTube and Twitch, is because there's still a number of people that used to be subscribed to me on YouTube or are still subscribed to me on YouTube, and maybe interested in some of the stuff that's going on Twitch as well, so why not? The Restream service does really well for putting it out to both platforms, and it doesn't take me any extra time, so bargain. Such fun. So let's keep an eye on our fields. Beets. How we got here? The apples tend to be quite sturdy. Doing down on our corn crop. Already down to 80%. Even a third of the way through. But we can only manage what we can manage, so we've lost... We're at 10.2, so we've lost 2 tons of crop so far. So that's not the most ideal situation in the world. That's okay. Using my offhand because I'm cheating my Apple Watch right now to make it think that I'm standing up by just holding my hand down by my chair. So I'm actually using my left hand to navigate the mouse, which is why it looks all weird. Back to normal in just a few minutes. Maybe I should practice more. You're the one who asked about the cows. Ah, that's cool. That's no problem. Like I said, it's always good for asking about stuff. I kind of came to that realization when he asked about the cows. I hadn't thought about doing the cows, and then but we've got €1 million. So just doing an experiment with the cows kind of makes sense. And you have been asking for a few streams, in fairness. So it would be a little bit counterintuitive to say, no, ask me questions, and then go, no, I don't want to answer that question. Unless there's obviously a very good reason to not. So in this case, there wasn't. So. Doodly doo. Oh yes, I can see the same image avatar between your accounts now that you mention it. I can't see it in detail because it's only just really, really tiny on the chat, but it's good. So you seem to be doing okay. I know I've seen reports in the Discord that people are finding it really difficult to make the farm financially viable. I think for me, we've just found crops that are that function for what we need them to do, and we kind of keep on top. I'm keeping on top of the fields as best I can. So I think that's where my experience is perhaps different from some of the people that are reporting that it's difficult to make money in the game. Now, again, we're not making super bucks, we're not making tens of millions, but we are making hundreds of thousands and getting up into millions and building our farm up over time. So I don't know if, again, we talked about yesterday different expectations of how things work, so maybe that's coming into play. It's difficult to say. So there we go. We try. Do, 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 do. And see, we're already down to 72%, so we've lost almost 3 tons of corn. Nitrogen on, just for good measure. Don't want the crop to kind of suffer for anything that we can control. So bom, 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 bom. Getting into July. Yep. That's it. I must not forget contract. Must not, even though it's pinned on the window on the HUD. Completely forgot it last time we did a zucchini contract, which was actually in 2034. Last 2035 didn't offer us any contracts for zucchini, not without something else. So just want to get that achievement. So how are the cows doing? It's like they're kind of converting back onto this field, having had it recover. So
all hands brace for impact.
there we go. Do, 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 do. Dog's splitting around. I think he's splitting around because he's complaining that I've shut the door to the front room so that he can't bark things. It's his little heart. Zucchini is good. Might look to see what that field does with apples next year. Apples is, or apples are, one of our better crops. Where are we in the growth cycle? Okay, we've still got about halfway, but less than halfway, so we want some NK on there as well. So, yeah, so we might be finding out more about the cows. Obviously, we'll get through the end of this year. We might be finding out more at the end of 2037 for the cows on stream, on a morning stream next week. I will still be doing Global Farmer, but I'm probably gonna alternate with something else. The same as I do with my evening stream. So I do bank of 2 of 1 game on Monday, Tuesday. I bank of 2 of another game on Thursday, Friday. So I'm not sure whether Global Farmer will fall onto the Monday, Tuesday, or the Thursday, Friday. So, yeah. I'm thinking possibly the Thursday, Friday. No, actually. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I will eventually get there and figure it out. Just trying to balance it between different games, so because it's Transport Fever Monday, Tuesday for evening streams, so Global Farmer Mondays and Tuesdays. Yeah, that's what it'll be. So, and then my other game will be Thursday, Friday next week. So like I said, we're not kind of cutting out global farmer at all. Just going to step it back a little bit from being every weekday stream to half of them. So we'll still be making progress. We get through sometimes a year and a half in a stream. Sometimes more, depending upon how much I talk, most likely. And how much different things we do, because the more we diversify and have to kind of pay attention to different things, it does add to the complexity, which means I don't run the game at such a high speed. There's no point in just fast forwarding it and making a garbage profit. So where are we with the cow milk right now? 30,000. Where are we with the sheep? 179. Yeah, 180 grand for the sheep's wool. But then they had a head start because they were able to eat during the winter months, and the cows were not. So it's not a fair comparison yet. Wait until we've got some corn in the bank, as it were. Looks like we're not going to have a lot of corn. So I don't think it'll last even an entire season. Dang it. If we could buy some in, it would just be so much more beneficial. Like I said, I have already put that suggestion in to the system. So, plus I only have half the cows I can have. Yes. Yeah. So we're kind of. That's a very good point. So we'll, like I said, I'm keeping that in my head. Obviously, the more cows we have, the more feed we need, which is why I deliberately, knowing that we're going to have problems with the corn, I deliberately kept it small to start with, because otherwise it's just going to be... I want to have an entire year where they are fed constantly, either when they're in the barn or when they're out on the pastures. And I want to have, like I said, a full year of that, which is why I'm trying to grow the corn and hopefully have enough for an entire year, but I'm not convinced. We'll see. I mean, it might just be that... I mean, they're already looking like they're going to be profitable, so it might just be that we have to kind of learn and adapt and figure out how to get them to that productivity over time, rather than not. I mean, heck, when I was a kid, my uncle was a dairy farmer. He had cows, and that was the profit from the farm, was the cow's milk. So... where are we on the growing season? Yeah, back some NPK on there. That one's looking okay for the moment. That needs zhuzh of phosphorus. So yes. So we're in August now. So how far are we? Can't be too far away from some more harvests, I would have thought. Yeah. So we're heading in towards harvest season. It would be nice if, when you've converted to pastures, that perhaps, I might put that in as a suggestion, they can group the pasture fields somewhere else. So you have like a crop fields and pasture fields, and you can maybe select a tick button to just kind of not show the pasture fields, because in the field overview you don't really care about the pasture fields because you're not planting crops on them. So we'll see. I may just take a screenshot of that actually. There we go. That suggestion in. Right, let's just, whilst we're here, let's just do it. Put an idea. Say ability to find pasture fields in using fields to crop cycles useful to find pasture fields. No planting options. Okay. They'll be getting fed up of seeing my name in the kind of reporting messages. It's kind of, why does this guy keep kind of bothering to send in these things? He has really horrible ideas. Still, we shall try. As I always say, you don't get what you don't ask for. So you might ask for it and still not get it, but if you don't ask for it, you certainly won't. So there we go. So we're going to keep checking our fields. Some nitrogen there as well now. How are we doing? See, we started off with 10.19 tons. We're now down below half of that. So there we go. Still 12 days away from harvest. We're at 46%. So corn is a really awful crop for us. So the cows are going to have to do super well to justify the amount of space that we're going to have to dedicate to corn just to get enough feed for them. So, not to say it's not possible, because it absolutely is. Look after our zucchini field now. Let things get a bit slipped away. Some stuff on this field as well. I need a spray as well. It's the thing that I couldn't do. Days away. We're 9 days away from the corn harvest. 7 days away from the zucchini harvest. 3 days for lettuce. Yeah, it's all going to be coming in at once. It's all going to be coming in at once. But that's the nature of the beast. Yeah. So still looking at good temperatures. As we get into September, we're probably going to be looking at temperatures where the cows are going to go in, which means we've got, say September, 1, 2, 3, 6-ish months that they're going to spend in stables or in the barn, however you prefer to call it. Yeah. Now down to 4 tons. We shall see. We'll see how well. What I may have to do is, depending upon the amount they're eating, I might reduce it down to like 2 cows or something, so we can see what 2 cows does, how much food they require. So, not because I don't want to do the 5 cows, but if we can't have enough food to have them go through an entire 1-year period with feed, we don't really have a multiplier because we've got a variable in there of them not producing. So, at least that's my thought process. So we're harvesting lettuce again. We've already got some onions in. Where did the onions come from? Oh, the onions came from our big field. Okay. Let's plant some ryegrass on there then. So we're harvesting zucchini, harvesting corn. So this is where the number of workers comes in handy. So we've got multiple things going on that take a bunch of time, require manual effort. Are still seeding that. We're also harvesting apples up here. Let's see, so how long have we got until 2 days until the onions are ready to harvest? And I'm not sure anyone's going to have finished harvesting by that time. So do we have anyone available? Maybe, maybe not. So we've got 2 there, 2 there. We've only got 1 on here? Yeah, it looks like there's only 1, so there will be 1 person. Excuse me if you heard that. Oh, and it's a onion harvest, so that's better. It's on the machine. Okay. Oh. Hopefully the sound hasn't distorted for you. It's distorted in my ears. So I'm just going to pause for 1 second. I'm just going to re-evaluate that. That's better. I said hopefully that didn't distort for you. The sound just became really distorted in my headset. But fortunately, it's a fairly simple way to fix that for me. Because it all goes through the voice meter banana. Okay. So corn, we should be getting 4 tons. cows are still out in the pastures. That's good. Oh, we've got more onions to sell. And lettuce. We've got the corn now, which if we were to sell it would make us 18,000, which would not be enough for it to be a cash crop. But if it supports us in getting more... But we don't want to sell the zucchini yet. Let's do our contract. Complete the contract. Okay. We have completed 10 contracts. Now we can sell the rest of the zucchini. 92 grand. Get in. So I'm going to put some ryegrass on there. That one for the time being. Pretty good on there. So we're still growing apples there. These ones have been harvested. So, let's see. Cocoa. So, now, yep, more apples coming in. The apples, 65,000. Thank you very, very much. Don't mind if we do. So I thought we were going to struggle to get back up to the million, but it looks like we're going to be there again, which is good. We've made some pretty good decisions, apparently. And I'm just going to tab out to Steam and just check that I got that achievement, because I don't see it show up in the game. Yes, we did. We got a Good Partnership 2, where we complete 10 contracts. So that has worked. Don't know if anyone has got the other ones that I'm not able to get, which is the professional farmer, so harvest one crop with a health over 90%, which we've harvested many crops with a health over 90%, but just don't seem to get those achievements. So maybe that's a function of doing it in the hard mode. So I might check that out. So I think the first one is, yeah, just get one crop that's over 90%. So I might check that out in a game later on. Then at least I'll be able to comment on it. Okay, what we've got next? We've just got the apples to go. I think that's the only field left, isn't it? Yep. It's the only field left with a crop on it. So how are the cows doing? So 3.776 tons. So we'll see how much they're eating when they get indoors. But of course, manually trigger that now. I unselect that. Let's have a look. They will eat 10 tons a day. I think that's 0.1. It's 0.01. We'll see. Let's allow them back on the pasture for now. We'll see how quickly it goes down when we get there. Any of the other fields at the moment need ryegrass that don't already have it. Oh, that one can have it. That way. Here we go, because we're about to start harvesting. So there we are. More even more fields. I want this field, but we're not there yet. Do, 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 do. Okay. Let's go check something as well quickly. Excellent. So we're just harvesting in our last crop of the growing season, which is our final apple field. Then we'll be able to push through to the end of the year. I think we'll get to the end of 2036, we'll do the selling, and we'll start with 2037 on the stream on Monday. So it's been some good progress. We'll just speed through it. Run, run, run. Collect those apples. Okay. We've done that. Let's sell our apples. Yep, so I'm happy with that. We've got 50,000 worth of milk there, waiting. But we're going to wait till the end of the year. So check that field out. Yeah, that field can have ryegrass as well. And we are going to skip through to the end of the year. Animals are still out. Apples. Okay, so they're in now. See what they do in a day. So if it's 0.1, then we're going to be in trouble, but if it's 0.01, we should be okay for the time being. Yes, it's 0.01. It's 10 tons. It says 10 tons, it's not 10 tons. Yeah. 1. It's still a lot per day. See, the sheep are using a lot more, but then there's a lot more sheep now. I think what I'm going to do is just to kind of reduce that number down. What I'm going to do is at the end of it, I'm going to see I'm going to save it, and I'm going to see what happens if we reduce that down to 3 cows or 2 cows. Then I can always revert back to the save if I need to. So, because if it doesn't reduce that down below 10, then it's not really much bother. So, do. Just bringing in the ryegrass. Going through that food rather quickly. Just concerned it's not going to last. But it hasn't got to last all of next year. It's just got to last into the growing season, because then we can harvest some more, potentially. It's going down rather fast. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that. Okay. Do. So 1.6 a ton. That's gotten us through. It's gotten us through most of this. So I think I'm going to leave the cows at 5. So we've not even used the 0.6 of a ton, and we've got 3 tons.
All hands brace for impact.
I think we'll be okay. So, Merry Christmas 2036, everyone. Sure that never gets old. There we go. Okay, 30th of December. Our lovely day for sales. Okay. So obviously, to make sure that next year's is fair, we're going to sell the milk. So 75 grand. 316 grand from the wool. Thank you very much to our sheep. So we're 1.277 million euros. So we'll be going into next year with a fairly good balance. We've also got an increase in fields. We've got animals doing things. Yeah, so we'll figure out what field we're going to do for corn. And like I said, we'll then have an entire year of 5 cows, hopefully on Monday's stream, so we'll be able to properly evaluate them for their profitability. But it seems that they're going to be worthwhile, so which doesn't really surprise me, because of the expense of everything you've got to do for them. It's just going to be the hassle of the corn harvesting. So yeah, so I am going to leave things there for today. So hopefully everyone's had a lovely time on the stream, has a lovely weekend ahead. I still haven't decided if I'm streaming over the weekend, so do keep an eye out on the notifications. And we're going to go to our outro screen for the time being, just so that you don't have to have that raining in your ears. So I'm going to say thank you, everybody. So thanks to all the Twitch subscribers that I have. I do appreciate everybody for that. Thanks, everyone. So Bolt Griffin and Vam for keeping me company in the chat. It's always appreciated. Believe it or not, it makes a huge difference. And yeah, thank you to everybody else. So I shall be back later on I'm just going to... Oh,
We want you to die.
got an advert in progress, and I started to end the stream, so apologies. Let's wait for the advert to come back. So
on and so forth. 1, 2.
Totally didn't look at my screen before I did that.
3, 4,
So,
5.
and we'll also look and see, is there anyone on Twitch that's raidable?
Thank you very much.
No.
For the, 100 bits
So,
and the kind
there we go.
Semi-heart attack. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Repeat the thank yous in just another half a minute when the adverts end.
Try and take it easy.
And we'll be able to go
The cat's eyes,
our merry way.
which always causes
Da,
death
da, da.
moments.
Really not good to do that.
There we go. That's better.
19, 18, 17,
We have,
16.
not in this vehicle, but we have in previous vehicles gone over the edge here, so...
10, 9, 8, 7,
We
6,
crashed.
5,
We
4,
crashed. We're looking at the seat.
3, 2,
Um,
1. Okay, so sorry about that. I was starting to end the stream whilst the adverts were going, so if anyone was caught up in an advert there, I do apologise.
oops.
So yes, thank you very much to Bolt Griffin and Vam for keeping me company in the chat. Very, very much appreciated. Hope you have a lovely weekend ahead of you. I've already checked. There's no one that I can raid on Twitch today. So we're going to leave it there, and I'll be back later today, UK time, with another Stardew Valley stream, but the next Global Farmer stream will be Monday, around 9:30 UK. So take care, everybody, and goodbye for now.
Dust does more porridge.